Pokemon Home sucks. That's it. That's the video. Pokemon Home sucks. But I might have some suggestions on how to fix it. Hey guys, this is Jordan here. I want to do a video talking about Pokemon Home. It's a service that I use quite a bit, and I've talked about it a lot in my last two videos. So, we're going to break down the issues that I have with the service, and maybe some potential fixes, some suggestions that maybe ILCA or Pokemon Company can use to kind of make the app worth it. So we're going to get into it. I'm going to start with explaining what Pokemon Home is, which most of y'all who are watching this video should know. So Pokemon Home is currently not that much different from Pokemon Bank in the gist of it. You take your Pokemon from the games, you put them in the app, you store it. So you can restart your games or store a Pokemon, like rare Pokemon or Pokemon you want to keep, or move them across games. So like if you don't have two switches, you can transfer them from one save to another, just like Bank. But first issue I have with Bank, and it's the GTS. Now, a little history on the GTS. Back in the day, between Gen 4 and Gen 7, so Diamond and Pearl and Ultra Sun, Ultra Moon, the GTS was an in-game area or app on the bottom screen for you to go into and trade your Pokemon. Now, my issue when it comes to Pokemon Home is when Pokemon Home came out in 2020, it was the mobile app, the Switch. So, what the issue was is Sword and Shield did not have the GTS built in. They moved it to the mobile app, only the mobile app. So you can only use it on the mobile app, you can't. It's not on the game, it's not on the Switch version of the app. So, somewhere on the screen, while I'm talking, I'm going to be trying to, I'm not really, I'm going to time how long it would theoretically take for me to trade them on the GTS in Pokemon Home. So, let's say I'm on my phone. I got my phone here. Got my phone. Here's Carnivine. I'm on my phone, like, I want a Raging Bolt. And I'm going through the list. You know, I'll actually do it on here. I'm going through, I'll pull up the app. I'm on Pokemon Home, I'm like, I want a Raging Bolt. And I'm going through the listings. And I'm on my phone, I don't have the Switch on or anything. And I'm like, okay. I find a Raging Bolt on my phone. And I'm like, alright, they want, let's just say, a Blood Moon or Saluna, right? Bobby. If y'all don't know, I call Blood Moon or Saluna Bobby, that's just my thing. And I'm like, okay, I found the trade. Now, what I have to do is it'll probably pop up on screen. I have to open up Pokemon Home. If I have the Pokemon already in Home. If I don't, I have to open up Scarlet or Violet, or whatever game the Pokemon's in. I have to open that up. Catch them on. If I don't already have it. If I have them on already in my game or in Pokemon Home, I open up Pokemon. If I have it only in the game, not in Home, I open up Pokemon Home. Move them on over. So I'm going to open up the save file. Move it over. Save. Which takes 20 years. Close it. Go back to my phone. Open up the app. Find the trade again if somebody else didn't take it. Find the trade for it, which I give or take, it may take a little bit. Then, if I want to play with the new mon, I have to close the mobile app on my phone. Since you can't be logged in on your phone and the Switch at the same time, close the app on the phone, open up the app on my Switch, load up the save file where I want to move this Raging Bolt into. Then, I gotta save, which takes forever for some odd reason now. Then, I have to load up my game to finally play with my new mon. So to recap, if you don't have them on, you have to open up the game to catch it. You gotta close the game, save the game, close it. Open up Pokemon Home, which takes a good while because it loads like slow as hell. Open up the save file. Move the Pokemon over from the game save file to Home. Save Home, which takes forever. Close the Home app. Go on my phone, find the trade again. trade for it, and do all those other steps in reverse. So, one suggestion that I have, which I'll probably do a time as I'm talking, I probably would have had a timer how long all that takes theoretically. But my suggestion for the GTS is to add the GTS back to the games. Now, when I'm saying the full GTS, no. Make it a system where, you get your one Pokemon, you can trick GTS, or you can find mons. And I'd say ban mythicals and ban the legendaries from it. And you might ask, oh, Dork, what do you do if they add DLC? Then you just add the mons to the list. And I don't think it'd be that hard to add a list. Like let's say Charnivine DLC Charnivine had GTS. They have the GTS and they add new mons in like the Kill Mask. My Spinarak. Spinarak wasn't on the list. They just add them to the list. Veneriados and all the mons they added. And they can just ban the new mons for a little bit. And then in a new patch, they can add them like Blood Moon, Sinisha, all that, right? And once, so you got people get a chance to have the new mons and look for them and everything. And then they can still trade. So you don't need to close your app. You don't need to close Scarlet Violet, theoretically, to trade, like online. You're saying like, oh, I can just ask online. Well, there's a lot of kids that play these games. The games are made for kids. I know I'm a 20-odd or something man talking about this, but the games are designed for like 4th graders, right? So like, you don't really want them going online and asking strangers for Pokemon, because most likely somebody's gonna try to steal these mons from them and give them hack mons and stuff. So I feel like they need to have it inside the game, even a very toned down, broken down system for trading like a GTS. You don't have to call it GTS. You can call it, like it's trying to buy, call it the school trading system, the STS or whatever. But that's my main issue, because right now, I just paid for Pokemon Home, and I paid, it's $15 plus tax, and I paid $17-ish after tax. And to have to do all that hassle just to trade for a mon, even that, there's mons that aren't even on the Switch yet. I've gotten a list. Furflow, which at the time of recording, ZA is not out. The Elemental Monkeys, Watchog, and Patrat are not on the Switch. Spinda's not on the Switch. And before you say, oh, Spinda's in PDSP, and I can't take it out, I can't put one in, it's not on the Switch. It doesn't matter what these websites say. Spinda is not on the Switch. You can catch it in PDSP, but I cannot take that Spinda and move it into Home. I can't take my Spinda from Ruby and Sapphire out of my Living Dex and move it into PDSP. It's not in the game. It might as well just be gone. But basically, just add a minor GTS to the game. You don't have to be that big, you don't have to be that exciting. You can ban most of the mons, just have the mons that are in the regional decks, minus the legendaries, the rare mons, like rare forms and stuff. So people have an option to look for these mons without having to go online and risk their Pokemon being scammed out of their Pokemon, really. And, so that's it for the Pokemon Home regarding the GTS. My second issue with Pokemon Home is a combination. It's 2 in 1, because I feel like they kind of go hand in hand. Box space and organization. Now, I have a full Living Dex of every mon that you can catch with my OT, so it's got to say like Zachary, or whatever. My name's Zachary. Hi. And they have to be in a Pokeball. So, a lot of mythicals I don't have yet. Even though I have the event, I don't have them yet. You cannot catch them in the game. Like the newest one is Meloetta, which Gen 5's been out over 10 plus years. I just now got a Meloetta. So roughly I have over 2,700 Pokemon in my home right now. That's including my Living Dex, my shiny Living Dex that I'm currently building, and event Pokemon and extra Pokemon like old teams from other games. Now, Pokemon Home's limit is 6,000 Pokemon. So, I have right here, there are 1,544 Pokemon, that's including forms, that you can put into home. But I think it's not that many. It's maybe a little bit left, give or take. And there's over 1,500 Pokemon you can put in home. And you double that to 3,000. That's including the shinies and everything. So right there, if you have a full living dex and a full shiny dex, give or take, you'll have somewhere around 2,900 and 3,000 Pokemon. You know, the shiny walks and everything. And there's not even counting like event Pokemon and all the other stuff. So, Pokemon Home, if you go back to Pokemon Bank, which was 2014, to now, you should have, if you have a living dex, around 1,500 Pokemon. And if you have a shiny living dex, around 30,000. We're like, oh, that's only half. You're only halfway there. Well, at the rate that Pokemon introduced new Pokemon and forms, you know, this generation alone with over 120 Pokemon, not including, you know, the forms, it's going to fill up pretty quick. Like, I might have an image on the screen. My living dex is already 30 boxes, you know, and it's already on the second page. Like, I don't have, you know, you're going to run out of space. I have all my event Pokemon separate. So, I suggest, maybe, since they've been doing these events for the Mythicals, maybe they could do a thing where if you have, like the games, if you have a certain amount of Pokemon or a Pokemon in every box, well, I say a certain amount of Pokemon in home, they give you more boxes. Now, I'm not saying it should be infinite. I say maybe limited, maybe 8,000. So I can get 2,000 more on top of the 6,000 if you, like, don't get to a certain point and filling it up. Or, people may not like this, having a way, like a one-time payment, you know, $1 and $5. You get paid to give yourself more boxes. Which I don't really understand how the code would work, like how to keep, I'm pretty sure they can keep up with, and they can keep up with who pays for home, they can keep up with who pays for the boxes. So let's say I have 5,000 Pokemon out of 6,000, I'm almost out of space. I pay $5, and I get an extra 2,000 to 3,000 slots. You know, so I get another 1,000 to 3,000, depending on what I buy. And they limit you to, like, say, double, so 12,000 slots. That's the limit, I mean, you can have 12,000, double the current that you can pay for it. And then you're just SOL, if you fill all that up, you're just SOL. So that's one thing, but I would like a way to extend, you know, to have more slots eventually, just so, like, if you want to keep stuff organized, keep stuff spaced out, you can. Speaking of organization, this is a very minor one. I want to be able to auto-sort my Pokemon. So I'd like to be able to select, you know, even within a box, select the Pokemon, click a button, and like organize these by national dex, organize these by height, weight, whatever. And so make organization better. So right now, when they keep adding new Pokemon, it gets harder and harder to keep track of where these Pokemon are supposed to go. You know, let's say there's over 1,025 Pokemon. You know, Pokemon get lost, Pokemon get misplaced. You know, it's inevitable if you keep messing with it. So, have a way to auto-organize. Now, I know, you know, people might say, oh, people organize stuff differently. You know, like I organize living dex, so the base form, and I have all my alternate forms, like regional forms and all that separate. You know, everything's separate. So if they add in a regional form, I don't have to move around the 1,000 Pokemon. You know, it's totally fine. You know, there's like Austin John Plays has a method that he has. You know, there's tons. I didn't mean to name drop him, but cool guy. But he has a strategy, like a method. There's so many different methods you can do by height, color, weight, natural dex, regional dexes. There's so many types. But I have a way, just an easy way, just to organize just a single box. But hey, I have all these random Pokemon. I want them in natural dex order so I can sort through them and everything. That'll be fine. Just limit it to the individual boxes. So you have to go into the box and organize it. That at a minimum is what I like to see for home. And I do want to ask Draco, Pokespirit Draco also had the same idea. I'll get to why I'm name dropping him here towards the end of the video. But the final issue one of the final issues that I personally have with Pokemon Home is connectivity. They've gotten better at it. So before it was 6, 7, so 5, 6, 7 to bank, then you transfer them up to home is Sword and Shield, and Legends Arceus BSB, and that was it. You can trade in between. We couldn't go back, which makes sense on different consoles on the 3DS. Gen 9 comes out, Charlotte Line comes out, the home update comes out for it. And you can go from Gen 9 back to Gen 8, which they haven't done anything like that since Gen 2. So in Gen 2, you trade with Gen 1 if the Pokemon was in Gen 1. I like that. I like that a lot. I want them to do more like that. So when like Gen 10 comes out, I want to be able to take my Gen 10 mines, put them in a home. Let's take Pikachu for example. I have Pikachu in Gen 10. I caught a shiny one. Well, I wanted to have Scarlet Violet ribbon for the championship and Sword and Shield, the Galar ribbon, the Paldea ribbon. I want to be able to take it out from the Gen 10 region, put it in the home, take it to Paldea, get the ribbons in the march, take it to Galar, get the ribbons. Another thing which I've talked about twice in the last 2 videos is if they do ports of Sword and Gen 1, 2, 3, and including the 5 Red Leaf Green remakes, I would like to be able to, this is theoretical, if you do ports on the Switch or the Switch 2, whatever, I want to be able to take Pokemon from the newer games and put them in the old games and get ribbons and stuff. Because for me, for my living decks, I have all the ribbons on my mines to kind of keep track of what games they've been to. So, my Pikachu is from Yellow. It never got any of the Gen 3, 4, 5, Gen 3, 4, 6 ribbon because it can't go back. So I would like the ability to take that mon that I caught in 2020 from my living decks, to do the ports. I can take that Pikachu, take it back to Hoenn, and then get the ribbons in Hoenn and then the remakes of Kanto. So they have those ribbons. They have as many as they can get. And I'll be able to, I can go from, I have my Pikachu in Emerald. Oh, I need this Pikachu for my decks in Gen 10. I can take it out of Emerald, put it in home, back to, into the Gen 10 region. And, which I feel like there's more they can do. They can introduce games. I had an idea where, like, maybe Pokemon Sleep, because Pokemon Sleep has a ribbon, be able to play Pokemon in and out of Sleep, but I highly doubt they'll ever do that. I can understand why the Go and Home isn't both ways, because there's like math involved. It might get kind of complicated with the data. I don't understand why I know, never mind. I scratched it. I do understand. It's the same reason as Go. Like, if they've been in another game, you can't take them back to Let's Go. But I do wish they had a thing where they can reverse it. Because right now, when you move a mine back and forth, it saves a copy of that mine in Home. So when you move it, you're not actually moving that mine. That mine stays. It's just the data. So I feel like they could do like a thing where if they go in from Let's Go to a new game and they just take that Let's Go data and move it back and just edit it when it comes back into Home. Well, Let's Go is a dead game anyway, so that game came out close to almost 2019, 2018, something like that. I'll have it on screen when it came out. So it's an old game. It's getting close, to 5 to 10 years. But, so yeah, like adding new things, like adding like an extension to Home where you can like breed Pokemon, or you can have like a ranch where you can play with your Pokemon inside a Home. I've talked about it to me I did before in the last 2 videos. But, I just feel like, overall, they could do more with Pokemon Home than they are now. It just feels like I'm paying almost $20 a year, which is a lot to me, because I'm on fixed income, so like $20 is a lot for a month. So like almost $20 in February. That's like a lunch or a dinner for me. I want them to do more with it because they make it worth it. Now, I had this question in my head. How can I improve Pokemon Home? Right? So, I am in the Hidden Power Podcast Discord. And I asked the Hidden Power Discord, what would you do? What would you want them to improve it? What would you change about Pokemon Home to make it better for you? And I have a list here of things that they suggested. So I'll have them linked. Everybody who I have here, I'll have linked in the description. If they want to be linked, I'll have to ask. I have to ask them. But one person here has a lot. Jordan has a lot. Like most of this list is just Jordan alone. I'm gonna go through Jordan's and I'll go through the other ones. Jordan suggested shiny icons on the trade listings, so you can tell that they're shiny on the GTS. Actual game of origin on the trade list, so you can see what game they're actually from. So this one, like, let's say they're from Alola, but it says they're from Scarlet, but they're actually from Sun and Moon. It has the origin mark, something like that. Ability to report users who give Pokemon inappropriate names in the trade listings. A lot of these are from about trading. I agree with that one, because a lot of people hack their game and give them names they shouldn't have. So to be able to, like, report users who break the TOS, I can kind of see them doing that eventually. Ability to view G-Max 3D models in the model viewer in home. Yes, I do agree with that too, because right now you can view Megas and the regular mons. So I would like to be able to view the G-Max, because there's not really a lot. You can see them like the little icon, but you can't see the 3D model in home. A move text that lists the Pokemon that can learn a move So let's say you have like Thunderbolt. You click on Thunderbolt, it will list all the moves all the Pokemon that can learn that move. Count the gender differences as forms, which I do agree, because there's a lot of Pokemon. There's not a lot, but there's a lot. So count them as different forms outside of like I think they do count the different ones like Basculegion and stuff. But the minor ones like Eevee, Pikachu, stuff like that, count them as forms inside of home. And then the last two from Jordan is move animation and the ability to select animations. More animations, not move, more animations. So when viewing the model, you click it and it does an animation. Be able to choose different animations that are from the games, so you can kind of like mess with them and look at them and everything. And the big one that Jordan was very adamant about is remove the trade locks on Shiny Zacian and Zamazenta on the GTS. So, Shiny Zamazenta and Shiny Zacian, that's hard to say all in one. They currently cannot be traded on the GTS, even though they're legal from Go. So I agree with that as well. And so we have a few more here. I hinted at my last video and a little bit here, a breeding and training area to help train and customize Pokemon in home. I agree with that. I would love to see that. And that is from Pokespirit Draco. Another one from Draco is a Pokeball Swapper. I would love to see a Pokeball Swapper, but I can see them not doing it because one is it's just a lot of mixing around, and two, I feel like they would put a hard limit on it for like the Cherish Ball event, so you can't change them. But I do agree that we need some form, if they're not in a Cherish Ball maybe, or not in a special like event Pokemon, if they don't have a ribbon, like you can't change them. But you need like, if I go catch a Turtwig and a Pokeball, I can change it in home, no problem. You can even make it like a little currency, or like battle points. So you have to have the battle points to change it inside of home. And let's see, I think that's it for the suggested. But I'll have them if they like. I'll have them link below the podcast, Draco and Jordan, if they want to be tagged in it. But yeah, that's the video. Do you agree with my fixes? Do you want to see an expansion on these ideas? What do you want me to talk about? I have a lot of ideas. Pokemon Day is next week, so I'll probably have a video of my reaction and a video talking about what we saw on Pokemon Day. So look forward to that. But yeah, comment down below what you would fix with Pokemon Home. Do you think it's worth the money? Do you think it's not worth the money? What would you change? What would you improve? How many Pokemon do you have in your Pokemon Home right now? But Yeah, like, comment, subscribe, do whatever. I don't know. But, this is Dwarvenator, signing off. Take care.